AP and the College Football Playoff Committee will do it wrong, so we're here to do it right. Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert here with our Week 12 GE Top 25 rankings. Our own set of rankings based on the actual results that happen in the games, based on our metrics that we bring to you every single Monday. And we're running out of Mondays. We are nearing the end of the season. We're nearing the end of our rankings as the race for the College Football Playoff begins to heat up. We just saw the first set of playoff rankings happen last week. We'll have another one coming out tomorrow. Last week, not the best, but also not the worst. Maybe one of the better rankings we've seen in a while, but again, still not that great. Had some discrepancies. We're going to talk about them now. We're going to talk about our rankings now while also recapping what was not necessarily a lackluster Week 11, but a Week 11 that did not result in a lot of changes in our Week 12 rankings. We'll go ahead and dive into it right now. Our top six remain the same. You look at this last week. We had a couple teams fall out of our top 25, right? We saw Missouri drop out. We saw Washington drop out. We saw Memphis drop out. All those teams fell out of our top 25, but all of those teams really were not that highly ranked in our GE top 25. So it didn't result in a whole lot of shakeups within the top 10. Really not a whole lot of shakeups really within the top 20. Not too many there. We talked about the top six remaining the same. Ohio State took care of Purdue. Indiana survived at Penn State. I mean, unbelievable catch in the back of the end zone. Fernando Mendoza, maybe his Heisman moment for the Hoosiers, leading them to that comeback victory, 27-24 in Happy Valley. They remain at number 2 as Ohio State and Indiana seem to be on a collision course to maybe meet in the Big Ten championship game, and that game could determine who gets the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. So keep an eye on that as we go forward over these next couple of weeks. A&M went on the road and destroyed Missouri. Top 20 team, they killed them. They beat LSU by 24 in Death Valley a few weeks ago. I mean, A&M's 9-0, and they look unstoppable. This is a really dang good football team. 8-4, no more. They have broken the 8-4 curse. Even if they lose out, they're at least going 9-3. Phenomenal job by Mike Elko and the job that he's done down in College Station. This team, again, by no means a lock. Still a lot of football left to be played, but looking very, very close to being a lock for the college football playoff. And I think they can do some serious damage in that 12-team field. Alabama at number 4, they've got past LSU, scrappy LSU squad, 20-9. Crimson Tide not putting them away like many people thought, but they covered the spread. That's what matters, right? Good teams win, great teams cover. That's what Alabama did. Black Hoodie, Kalen DeBoer, still a force to be reckoned with. And the Crimson Tide are on a tear since that season opening loss to Florida State. And got a big game this weekend against Oklahoma that we'll be breaking down for you here in just a few days, right here on the channel, in-depth prediction. Georgia in at number 5. They destroyed Mississippi State 41-21, a game that really wasn't as close as that final score indicated, and still 20 points, not that close. Oregon survived at Iowa 18-16. Kirk Herbstreit almost got it right. College Game Day, he said he thought it would be a 16-15 game. He thought that Iowa would win on a game-winning field goal at the end of the game. Almost the inverse happening. Oregon doing that. Give the Hawkeyes a lot of credit for the fight they put up in the cold, in the rain at Kinnick. Was maybe the best game of the weekend, but Oregon prevailed. Keeps everything alive for them. A second loss would have been pretty detrimental. Would have put a hold on certainly Big Ten title hopes, maybe even the playoff. But a win at Iowa keeps everything alive, and we keep them in at number 6. I moved Texas Tech up 2 spots. Someone could argue that Tech should be above Oregon. Some should say that Ole Miss should be above Tech. The way I look at this is what Texas Tech did against a top 10 team, previously unbeaten BYU team, was extremely impressive. And Texas Tech's resume is extremely impressive. Only 1 loss. That was to Arizona State by 4? They lost that in the final seconds. They have a 24-point victory on the road against Utah, who, spoiler alert, we have ranked number 12. So a 24-point win on the road against our number 12 team in the country, and then a 22-point victory over a top 10 team in BYU, who is now out of our top 10 but still highly ranked and still in the hunt for a playoff berth and a Big 12 championship berth. So Texas Tech is not only winning games, they're winning in dominating fashion. They're not leaving it up for debate. Well, it's like, yeah, they're winning, but are they really that good? No, this team is good. This team is really, really good. And we saw that against BYU, and arguably give credit to BYU because that game should have been like 45-7 in favor of Texas Tech. I mean, so many times that the Red Raiders got deep in the red zone or had many scoring opportunities, they could not get in the end zone. BYU held them to field goals. BYU held them to nothing at the end of the first half. Texas Tech choosing to go for it, fell incomplete. So honestly, the Red Raiders probably should have had more than 29 points. But even with all the held field goals and everything like that, they still won by 22. So the fact that Texas Tech has 2 quality victories like that in blowout fashion, to me, moves them above Ole Miss, who's still a dang good football team. Still has some quality wins on their resume as well. The biggest one, of course, coming on the road at Oklahoma. But I'm going to put Texas Tech at number 7, Ole Miss at number 8, Notre Dame in at number 9 following their 39-point win over Navy, and then Oklahoma into our top 10. They had a bye week, but into our top 10. They're right on the outside looking in, up a spot with that big showdown at Alabama looming large on Saturday. Can the Sooners pull off the upset? It's a million-dollar question. If they do, it creates chaos in the playoff race, chaos in the SEC. If they lose, their playoff hopes are probably done. So a huge, huge, huge game on Saturday afternoon. Into 11 through 20. So that's our top 10. That's our top 10. Don't think it can be disputed too much. And again, it's slowly going to continue to work itself out over these next couple of weeks as we get closer to conference championship weekend. These teams are going to lose, whether in the regular season or in the conference championships. It's all going to kind of settle. Once the dust settles, it's going to be a lot more clear. 11 through 20. BYU down 3. They just took their first loss of the year. And again, I thought their defense actually played well, all things considered. We knew, nothing's ever guaranteed in college football, but I felt very confident that Texas Tech was going to win that game by double digits. We actually said that in our prediction video, that we thought Texas Tech would win this game by at least 10 points. They won by 22. They covered the spread. It was one of our better picks in our expert picks, where we just went 6-3 against the spread in week 11. BYU, despite the bad performance, that was their only loss of the year. They still have some quality wins on their resume. I'm not going to take a team that I had at number 8 and plummet them from 8th to 17th, 8th to 18th, right? Because they lost on the road to a top 10 team, right? This is a dang good BYU football team. Still have some flaws. They were playing with fire. We talked about that, how some of their games in previous weeks. Barely survived Colorado, barely survived Utah, barely survived Arizona. It was coming. A loss was coming for BYU. It was only a matter of time. They ran into a buzzsaw in Lubbock against Texas Tech. The Cougars still have everything left to play for. They can still make the Big 12 championship. They can still make the college football playoff. They've still got a lot of opportunities there to schedule. It's a little tough over these last couple of weeks. So we're going to see what this team's really made of. Are they going to be resilient? Are they going to be able to bounce back from such a bad 22-point loss? Kalani Sitake has got a squad, though. And again, number 11, I think is justified. And I also couldn't justify putting BYU below Utah, who they did beat head-to-head. So a 1-loss BYU team below a 2-loss Utah team who BYU beat didn't make any sense to me. Wouldn't be fair. Wouldn't be just. So BYU at 11. Utah up 2 spots. Had a bye week. A lot of teams you're going to see here are moving up in the rankings 2 or 3 spots because Louisville and Virginia both lost. So they benefited a lot from that. We didn't see a whole lot of chaos in college football this last week. Those were 2 of the bigger upsets, I would say. And the teams behind them benefited from those 2 teams losing. So Utah up 2 spots, didn't play. Texas up 2 spots, didn't play. Vanderbilt up a couple spots following their thrilling overtime victory against Auburn. The Commodores, all their hopes still very much in front of them in terms of college football playoff, SEC title. Maybe not SEC title, but college football playoff certainly still in the mix. Vanderbilt up to number 14. Georgia Tech up 2 spots, didn't even play, up to number 15. USC jumping Michigan, big win over Northwestern, beating them 21 points, 38-17. I had Michigan slightly above USC. Now I put the Trojans, who did win that game head-to-head, above the Wolverines at 16. Michigan up a spot after a bye week. Miami up 3 spots, following a 28-point win against Syracuse, exacting their revenge on the Orange. Not saying too much, but exacting their revenge on the Orange after Syracuse knocked them out of the playoff race and ACC title race at the end of last year. And then Virginia. Virginia, down 7 after they lost to Wake Forest. It was kind of like BYU. It felt like only a matter of time before Virginia lost. They were playing with fire. Barely beat Washington State, barely beat North Carolina, barely beat California. It was only a matter of time. And their offense that was so good at the beginning of the season just has faltered over these last couple of weeks. They finally lose now to Wake Forest, and now that creates chaos in the ACC. So I moved Virginia down 7 spots. Still only a 2-loss team, still very much in the thick of ACC title contention. Who's it going to be, right? Who's going to win this conference? Who's going to win the ACC and go to the college football playoff? Will it be Virginia? Will it be Georgia Tech, who got a huge break with Louisville and Virginia both losing on the same day? Could it be Miami? Could they still find a way to slip in there? Could it be Louisville, despite the loss still in the high? That is one of the most intriguing conference races, I think, in the entire country right now, is what's happening over in the ACC, where there's 4 or 5 teams tied for first place. So the last couple of weeks in the ACC, up from now to the end of the year, going to be chaotic, where every single game will have a significant impact on those conference standings. Probably the most intriguing conference race to watch over the final few weeks. So Virginia down to number 19. Tennessee did not play. They're up 3 spots, up to number 20. Into 21 through 25, Cincinnati did not play. They're up 3 spots despite not playing. Still in the hunt for a Big 12 title there. Louisville down 9. The Louisville loss to California was worse to me than the Virginia loss to Wake Forest. Again, Virginia was playing with fire. Even Vegas knew that, right? Virginia was only about a 7-point favorite, 6.5-point favorite over Wake Forest. Louisville was nearly a 3-touchdown favorite over California, and they lost at home 29-26 in overtime. That's an inexcusable loss for Jeff Brom. Golden opportunity to get the win, couldn't do it. Now chaos in the ACC, and that loss could have cost them everything. Louisville, still a good football team to me. That's a really, really, really bad loss that's going to put a lot of pressure on them going forward, including a big game at home against Clemson coming up. Clemson's certainly not the team we thought they'd be, but a team that you still don't want to underestimate. And a loss there for Louisville would ruin everything, end everything for them. So watch out for that later this week. I think it's on a Friday night. But Louisville down 9 to number 22. Talk about another team in the ACC. Pittsburgh was not ranked for us last week. They're ranked for us now. They had a bye week. They move in because so many teams dropped out. We had 3 teams drop out. Pittsburgh's in. And they have a game at home against Notre Dame. So that's an interesting game. Not a game that will affect Pittsburgh in the conference standings when it comes to the ACC, but a game that if Pittsburgh wins, not only eliminates Notre Dame from playoff contention, but will catapult the Panthers in the rankings, and you can start seeing them flirt with college football playoff consideration. So that's the side of College Game Day this week. That's going to be our first prediction video coming your way either tomorrow or Wednesday. We're going to be breaking down in deep detail Notre Dame and Pittsburgh, so keep an eye on that one. But the Panthers in at number 23, and then James Madison and North Texas, 2 teams out of the group of 5, coming in at number 24 and number 25. The group of 5 race for the college football playoff is the most exciting, wide-open race we've ever seen since this started, right? And I want to start here. I'm sure there's going to be comments. Why is North Texas in at number 25 ahead of a team like USF when USF beat them? Well, first off, North Texas, 8-1, right? I believe it's 8-1. Only 1 loss to USF. USF, 2 losses. So I'm going to put North Texas in. I have USF at number 26 for what it's worth. And here's the thing we got to start with. It doesn't matter. All right? The American Athletic Conference could very well produce the group of 5 champion that goes to the college football playoff, right? Those standings are chaotic. That's going to be another fun race to watch. Could be North Texas, could be USF, could be Tulane, could still be Memphis, could be Navy. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen over the final few weeks of the season, and they very well could produce, but don't sleep on James Madison. If the Dukes went out, they could be that group of 5 team in the playoff. But bottom line is, to get in, you've got to win your conference. So whether I put North Texas at 25, whether I put USF at 25, whether I put UMass out of the MAC, I could put them in at number 24. It wouldn't matter unless they could win their conference. That's what it comes down to. So I like North Texas at number 25. That's where I believe they should be. You want to swap them out with USF, that's fine. It's not going to matter until we find out who's in the championship game, because you got to win your conference. It's the highest ranked group of 5 champion, assuming we even have a ranked group of 5 champion. There's a world where we have a couple of group of 5 champs and none of them are ranked. And then they go into the metrics and the science and everything like that behind it. I'm sure it'll be very controversial. But bottom line is, it doesn't matter right now, especially for these group of 5 teams. They're not battling for a number 1, 2, 3, 4 seed. They're battling for more than likely the 11 or 12 seed. And where they're ranked doesn't matter right now for those programs, because at the end of the day, if they don't make the conference championship, they're not going to be in contention. So that's what it comes down to. Keep an eye on those races. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be chaotic. The American's the one that's most chaotic, but don't sleep on James Madison. I mean, if the season ended right now, if I was in charge of making the playoff, James Madison would be in the playoff for me. Doesn't mean it's a lock. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Still a lot of football left to be played. But James Madison and the rest of the American Conference, that's the race. That's the intriguing part. But again, doesn't matter unless the team you're rooting for makes the championship game. If they don't make it, those hopes go away. So that's why it shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't cause a fuss that we've got North Texas at 25, USF at 26. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it just comes down to who plays in the American Championship game. Rant over. That's it. We'll see what happens. So there you go, guys. Top 25 GE here. Week 12 is upon us, and we got some bigger games than we had in Week 11, right? Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Texas. Pittsburgh and Notre Dame and a handful of other games, especially at the group of 5 level, they're going to play a major role in the college football playoff race. We mentioned it. The race is heating up. We are in the home stretch. We live for chaos, and that's exactly what we're going to get over the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Of course, as always, we'll have you covered every step of the way right here at the Gridiron Expert. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the channel. We do appreciate every single one of you. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to tons of exclusive content there for you, including our expert picks. All that there for you as a member of our GE Nation. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.